For days I walked alone. The jungle was a relentless world of sharp ridges, deep rivers, and the constant patter of rain on leaves. My only guide north was the stars. Every night my thoughts were consumed by my brother. Was he alive? Had he found his way back to our people? Or had the war claimed him, just like it had so many others? The distant echo of gunfire and the low thump of mortar were constant reminders that the war was everywhere. But I was no longer a soldier in an army. I was just one man lost between two worlds, walking towards a glimmer of hope. One evening, I was crossing a narrow trail near a ravine when a sharp voice pierced the silence from behind me. "Stop, don't move." I froze, the cold press of a gun barrel against my back sending a chill through my entire body. From the shadows of the forest, several men emerged. They wore monk jackets, camouflage, and carried old, well-used rifles. One of them shouted in Hmong, "Who are you? You don't belong here?" My heart hammered against my ribs. I slowly raised my hands, my voice shaky as I replied in our shared tongue. "I'm Hmong too. I'm looking for my brother." The men exchanged surprised glances. Their leader, a tall man with a prominent scar slicing across his cheek, stepped closer. His eyes were hard, searching mine for any sign of deception. "Your brother?" he asked, his voice low and suspicious. "What is his name?" "His name is Lis," I said, my voice gaining a bit of strength. "We fought with the Vietnamese, but he refused to fire on our own people. After the battle, he disappeared." The men looked at each other again, a silent conversation passing between them. The leader's expression soft, almost imperceptibly. He gave a slow, deliberate nod. "Come with us," he said, his tone now less hostile. "Maybe you'll find what you're looking for." They blindfolded me, a necessary precaution, and led me deeper into the forest. The path was uneven, and I stumbled several times, guided only by the firm hand on my arm. After what felt like hours, the familiar scent of wood smoke reached me, followed by the low, comforting murmur of voices. They finally untied the cloth from my eyes. I blinked, my vision adjusting to the warm glow of a hidden camp. Bamboo huts stood nestled among the trees. Men were cleaning their weapons by the light of several campfires. Women stirred large pots of rice, and in a quiet corner, children played. It was a surreal sight, a village and an army combined, a community breathing with both fear and an unyielding hope. The leader led me to a small private hut. "Wait here," he commanded, before turning and leaving me alone with my racing thoughts. I stood in the dim light of the hut, listening. I heard footsteps approaching, slow and deliberate. Then the door creaked open, and there he was, my brother. He stood in the doorway, thinner than I remembered, his face etched with exhaustion, but his eyes, they were the same, steady and full of life. "Nyaj KHWB," he whispered my name, his voice barely audible. I couldn't speak. A wave of emotion surged up, tightening my throat. I stumbled forward and wrapped my arms around him in a desperate embrace. For the first time since the war began, tears streamed down my face, not of sorrow, but of overwhelming relief. "I thought you were dead," I choked out. "I thought I'd never see you again." A faint smile touched his lips. "They found me after the battle," he explained softly. "The Hmong soldiers saved me. I've been with them ever since. We fight to protect our people, not to destroy them." I nodded, my voice trembling as I confessed I left the Vietnamese army. I couldn't do it anymore. I came looking for you. For a long time, we just sat there by the fire saying nothing. Two brothers torn apart and then reunited by war, forever changed by the journey. In the weeks that followed, I found a new home in the resistance camp. They treated me with kindness, though I could sense the wariness in some of their eyes. I was, after all, a former enemy soldier, but my brother vouched for me. He told him how I had refused to fight against our own, how I had risked everything to cross the jungle just to find him. Slowly, I earned their trust. I started helping where I could, repairing weapons, hauling supplies on long treks through the mountains, and standing guard during the silent, watchful nights. These weren't soldiers fighting for glory or politics. They were fathers, brothers, and sons fighting to protect their families, their homes, their very way of life. Often at night, my brother and I would sit together by the crackling fire. He had carved a simple flute from a piece of bamboo, and he would play it softly. The sound was mournful yet beautiful, a melody that seemed to carry all our unspoken memories of peace, floating through the darkness of the jungle. On one of those nights, he looked at me, the firelight dancing in his eyes, and said, "One day this war will end. When it does, we'll go home. We'll rebuild everything we've lost." I looked at him and nodded, wanting to believe him with every fiber of my being. But deep down, a part of me wondered if the kind of peace he spoke of, the kind we once knew, could ever truly be found again. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey. If this story moved you, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more tales of resilience and the human spirit. Your support means the world. See you next time.